It looks like we're in time, so that's always a good sign. In we go. Alright, so I just got inside and I'm seated at my seat right now and I'm fastening my seatbelt. The plane is going to take off in a few minutes. Hopefully the weather cooperates and this trip rewards me with some wonderful vistas and an awesome experience that I can share with y'all. Sit back, relax, and let's hope for the best. The flight from Mexico City to Phoenix typically takes about 3.5 hours.
Anything we can do to make your
Finally,
time with us more
leaving the
enjoyable.
gate.
Le damos la bienvenida a su vuelo de
Leaving the gate. Okay, bye Mexico City. Benito Juarez Airport. Bye. Topography is a bit flatter now, and we've exited the urban areas, so we get a little monotonous for a while as the plane turns further on towards the northwest. that's not the ocean by any means. That's just the elevation of the mountains that's causing the clouds to get blocked from getting into this area. Continuing to follow the mountain range as the clouds continue to follow the contour of the tree lines, cloud lines, so to speak. Organized chaos at its finest. You can see a river that's kind of winding down at the bottom of your screen. I don't know what the name of that town is. It has a mine, and of course must be a small place because I don't see any major landmarks. You can see the clouds still being blocked by the mountains. The mountains are still pretty tall, and in some cases where they're taller than the cloud ceiling, you can see the points of the tops of the mountains protruding out above the cloud level. The mountains are getting to be colorful now. They're getting more barren. Not as many green patches as we saw earlier. Look at that lone patch of cloud sitting comfortably on the top of that mountain range. It looks like the taller mountains are now behind us, and we're now approaching a zone of smaller clouds, but more widespread. The plane is following a major highway in Mexico right now. I'm not sure which, but planes normally do that in most countries to accommodate for emergencies and other unanticipated events. This is a big city with a star-like structure in the center. I'm going to take a look at it when I go home, and I'm going to type out the name of the city. Take a closer look at it, just for easy recognition of the map. And of course, for appreciation of the view from 6 miles above the ground. Clouds are approaching, and the landscape is looking a little flatter, more like what you'd see in West Texas. Just a few hills and barren plains. No sky-touching mountains or summits. Now it's almost completely flat, exactly like Texas, just like West Texas. Flat, boring. Yep, enjoying my coffee. And the views. Completely flat now. Not a single hill in sight. Just some barren fields, semi-arid lands, and small little villages dotting the landscape. Nothing much more. It's mainly clear, except for a few high clouds. The plane just made a sharp turn to the right, possibly more towards the north, to account for the horizontal distance between Mexico City and Phoenix. Here come the clouds. Hopefully, for not too long. It cleared up for a bit, and after a while, some hills are slowly beginning to reappear into the landscape. The soil is still red for the most part, but it's hilly, wavy, and there is some diversity in the level of greenness in the area. The land is getting more and more barren as the brown colors appear in different shades and have overtaken the green color at this point. I am unsure of what city that is. I would have to go home and look it up. It's fairly big, but not too big. But the fact that it's bisected by a river should make it relatively easy to identify on the map. It got a little cloudy. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse than this. Just a few clouds. Hopefully it clears off soon. We'll see. We're still following a major highway down there. You can see big trucks, big rigs, buses, and a few cars on the road. At long last, some mountains finally showing up. This is an interesting formation. It's like a ridge that's snaking along the ground in one linear fashion with no branches or any digressions. Looks more like a fishbone. snaking its way through the desert lands. It's obviously much greener within a couple of miles of the river, but once you get past that zone on either side of the river, it gets much drier. I don't know the name of the river or the town below, but I'll see if I can find it in the map and print that as a caption to the video. Plane's now making a turn to the right, pretty sharp turn, possibly to avoid some turbulence or something like that. Yes, the weather has been fantastic thus far. I have nothing much to complain about, besides of course some other people that are not as interested in the view or having other issues. I'm thankful for what I get, and I'd like to continue enjoying and sharing with y'all. So keep watching. Uh-oh. Clouds approaching again. We shall see. Shouldn't be too far off the Mexican border with the United States. This must be a cold front that's causing these clouds. Some circular fields on the ground. I will look up this location on the maps when I get home, and I'll print it out on the screen. These are some huge sand dunes. Look at the waves just shining in the sun, and you know for sure that you're in the desert right now. Wave after wave. That is a big city. I don't know which city that is, but I can promise you I will find it on the map. It's either Nogales or Tucson. It just struck my mind right now that this most likely is El Paso, going by the bifurcation of the urban areas between the two mountains. And of course the skyline. Yep, it is El Paso because the plane's making a sharp turn to the left right now towards the west. So, yep, that is El Paso. We're now getting in towards New Mexico. Welcome to America. You can see Las Cruces and the white sand dunes of New Mexico in the distance. We're basically following I-10 west and north. Interstate 10. You can see the airplane is following the highway on towards the west and the north. Resembling a snake. It's kind of like a coral snake. Yes, Arizona is a desert, but we still do get snow during the wintertime. As you can see, on top of that peak, there is snow right now. This is the result of a winter storm that came by last week and dumped copious amounts of snowfall on the top. The lower areas got a lot of rain as well, which is why you see all the washes and the green patches at the foothills. That lake at the top of your screen is Roosevelt Lake. Lake Roosevelt is about an hour to the east of Phoenix. These mountains look like ferns, brown ferns on the ground. So many branches. One more look at the copper mine. Distance, you can see Browns Peak at the top of your screen and Superstition Mountains. That area to the center of your screen at the top is called Gold Canyon, and now you know why. It glitters like gold as the sun sets. The plane's making a sharp turn right now to the right. Based on the instructions given to the pilot from the flight control deck. Approaching the southeastern suburbs of Phoenix, the Phoenix area that is. There are lots of cities within the valley. This is Mesa Gateway Airport. You can see four peaks, an iconic rock formation overlooking the city of Phoenix, and the Usury Park, which is basically the Gold Canyon on the top of your screen. We're right now over Chandler in the northeastern suburbs of the valley. Well, Chandler is actually in the southeast, but we're headed north. The plane's now making a turn towards the west. Not as big as Mexico City, but it's the fifth largest city the United States. And it's very, very spread out. We're now over Mesa, heading on into Scottsdale. Turn further to the west, and I'm now looking towards the McDowells. Rush hour traffic in Phoenix is never fun. Papago Park coming up, Mill Avenue. And you can see Camelback Mountain in the distance towards the top of your screen. And we're following 202.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is turned off, and keep the aisles clear of all carry-on items. Take a moment to check your seat back pocket for any personal items, like tablets and cell phones. When you open the overhead...
Taxiing to the gate. Weather from Mexico. The temperature outside right now is 69 degrees, which is 29 degrees Celsius. So it's gorgeous weather. Made it safe, just waiting to exit. I'm out. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and would like to see more like these, then please feel free to navigate to my page, find the subscribe button in the top right corner, and click on it. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.